this video we are going to cover with the use effect and then use ref and also custom React hook, how to create, and async await functions. So all these React hooks are going to make the React applications more compact and also more performance wise more faster. So let's look into the example. First we are going to practice with the use effect. So all these required number of React hooks, first of all we need to import. So first we will be practicing with the use effect with a simple example. And use effect can also be used to connect with the backend application to load the data coming from the backend. Now here is a simple example in a functional component app. We are just going to create with a new variable called name. It's an object for which we have two attributes, first name and last name, first name and surname, and we are going to initialize with the name and surname. And this is the data initialized by using useState React hook. And as soon as we render our component, like we wanted to load the data here, the name.firstname, name.surname. And here is we would like to update the data, name and surname, by using use effect. Use effect is another React hook which is affected. It is just replacement of component did mount method and component did update method. So whenever a component is getting updated with a new data, okay, that kind of functionality we can write as part of your use effect React hook. Let's say we wanted to set a name. We wanted to call the function called set name to update your object called name. So within this object we have two attributes, okay, first name and surname. We wanted to update both the values. The same thing we are going to render it immediately. So this is how we wanted to practice with the mounting phase of the application and also updating phase of the application using React hooks called use effect. So this is the very first example we wanted to practice with. So let's start our application. First we would like to check with the first name and surname of the component values, and also we have another attribute called title. This is a title value we are just setting with the set state. Earlier we used to use with the set state method. Now we are making use of use state React hook to set the value of title as bio. Along with this name object, we would also like to print that title object. If we go and check here, here is the title is set to bio and the first name and the surname is already set with the given values. This is what is get affected using our use effect React hook. So two React hooks we are practicing in this simple example. One is use state, the other one is use effect. And coming to in the same example, we would like to also practice with another reference, okay, use reference React hook. This is nothing but for uncontrolled components, especially when we are creating the components by using a functional components, to control the components, okay, using with a reference. Let's say I have a reference created here. The name is a variable, name is my state of my component. So first I am going to create it as a reference. Use ref is one of a React hook we are going to use. In this use ref, first I am initializing with some name. This is as part of initialization. And whenever the component is mounted, the user component is mounted as part of my application, this is going to take an effect by using use effect React hook. Within this, I would like to give a name. I would like to update my name, okay, with another name. If I wanted to give set timeout for this mounting, I can also make use of set timeout function with a given delay. And at the same time, if I would like to update my reference as part of my render function, means in my return function, I can refer to the same attribute by using ref tag. This is what is the component state management can be handled by the DOM itself, which is called as like uncontrolled components. Whereas if the user is going to control the state of the component by using setState method, so that comes under control components. Here it is a uncontrolled components using a ref tag. So the ref is we are going to use as part of our JSX, and coming to use ref is the React hook we are going to use to control our references. So this is another example for useRef React hook. The same thing we are also going to import it here, and if we can observe in the output, this is a reference we are going to get it. So here is the component what we are going to load into our app at the end, which is a user component. So this is a user component with a reference we are going to load it. So here is a name first. First it was initialized with a name called Elim, and then it was updated with the Isiaka, then it is going to be updated with the Sriram. The same thing we are going to observe here. And in between we have another component. What is that component? Right? So here is the next component we would like to practice is called data loader. So here is data loader is one of a component which is integrated with the Spring Boot backend application. So in a simple backend application, I'm going to load with my maybe product details or the employee details, any of the data which is coming from your backend application. I would like to consume this backend data into my application. So this is without using with my Axios library. In one of our previous sessions, we have practiced with Redux. We have also practiced with Axios. Right now, we are going to practice with React hooks. How do we load the data using React hooks? So data loader is one of a child component. We would like to connect to the backend application to load the data. So now let's look into the application, the component called data loader. So first time when we are practicing with data loader child component, we are connecting to the backend URL using fetch API. We are generating a response, and that is a response is given back in the form of a data, and that is a data we are going to process through our return function. It is going to iterate your first name, last name and email ID coming from backend. So here is we are going to manipulate the data coming from our fetch API as part of our component did mount method. This is a without React hooks. Okay, as part of component did mount, it's a lifecycle method. We are going to process our data coming from backend application. So here is a backend application running with, we are going to consume the data here which is coming from API employees. That's the data we are going to produce here. Here is the first name and then email ID we are going to display with. Now let us modify this logic. Instead of using with component did mount, let's go and use with a React hook called as use effect. So let me move on to the second logic where we can process with our backend information. So what is the second technique? In this technique, we are going to use with called use effect. So use effect is simply replacement of your component did mount and component did update, I said, right? So it is similar to that. Instead of using component did mount, let's make use of use effect, within which you are going to process the backend request. We are going to get the data. We are going to process the data. Let me save this. I'm going to save this application with the use effect logic. So use state and use effect is not defined, it is saying, right? So now we need to make use of, let's take it from app because it is there. Let's just to save time, like we are going to use with React is not required. So we are going to use with the use state, we are going to use with the use effect, not use ref. Correct? Whatever hooks we need, you just save it, and then let's go and check here. The result is same. Earlier we were loading using with the component did mount method. Now we are doing the same logic with the use effect. Earlier we did the same logic with component did mount. Now we are doing with the use effect. So this is the second type of React hook we are practicing to load the backend data. Let's do the same logic with the custom hooks. Right? How do we write a custom hook? So custom hook is nothing but we need to write our own React hook. How do we write it? Right? Here is we are calling with a new class called useFetch. UseFetch is not a predefined hook. It's not a predefined hook. We don't have any hook with a predefined logic. So we have to make use of a custom hook for which we need to write our own class. If we have any of the hooks we are going to use, we need to import it. Okay, so here we are not using, just we are making use of useFetch, which is a custom, so you don't need any kind of other hooks. So here is, what is this useFetch? It is not a predefined like this. So where from we are getting this? We need to write our own hook. So useFetch is a custom hook what we created. So this is a class what we created. It's nothing but a functional component useFetch, which is internally making use of useEffect, where you are going to send your URL from the parent component called your data loader component will send the URL. That is a URL. You are going to fetch it and get the data, return the data. That is how you can write a custom hook. useFetch here is a custom hook. This is a custom hook we are sending back to our data loader component. So in the data loader component, you are calling that useFetch and you are sending the URL. Here you are going to process your data. So let us save this, and also let us save this useFetch, because we have uncommented this. Save it and see the effect. The output is same, but here we are calling through custom hooks. Where is the custom hook? useFetch is a custom hook. useFetch is a custom hook you created. Custom hook is nothing but it's a function. All predefined hooks are also functions coming from this library. This is a custom hook what we created is nothing but a functional component. And as part of our custom hook, we are making use of useEffect to call my backend application to get the data, to consume the data and display as part of our data loader function. In the previous example, directly we were calling this, and we are processing the data. But now we are making use of a custom hook here within your data loader. And the last part of our React hooks is, instead of making use of useEffect and fetch API, when you call fetch API, it is going to consume your data. This is synchronously. Let's say sometime your data is stream based information you are processing, means there is a continuous information processing has to be handled. In that scenario, when you design your own custom hook, you can call your function, write your own function called getData function, and where you are going to get the data by calling with await and async. Make your function as async, and fetch you are going to call using await. It means Here in the use effect, as a one-time request, the URL is sent to your backend, it loads the response, it will be returned back to the function. It's not an asynchronous mode, it's a synchronous communication. And coming to whenever you wanted to go in an asynchronous programming, asynchronous data communication between your React application to your backend application, third party API call, you can go with the async await. In async await, you're not going to use with use effect. So this is making your application to load your data using the same your function called get data. This get data function is designed with async and await. That is a get data function you are calling as part of your use effect. Now you will be calling your data loader component, call your custom function and load with the data. The result is same. Everywhere you are processing the same logic, but the differences is first time you are calling it with predefined React hook called use effect, and then you are using with a custom hook with async await. So this is all about the various types of hooks we are discussing with. So in this particular example, we have covered with use state, use ref, use effect, and async await and custom hooks.